Okay. Now we're good. We're all set up. Sorry, that took a second. Alright. This is going to be a nightmare. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. There we go. Oh, man. Alright. Here goes nothing. Let me figure out where I'm at. Because I gotta open some stuff. "3D Man." Yeah. I'm trying to set up everything so that I can write this structure. I have this huge list of things that I'm going to be writing, and it's going to be a lot for, I don't know, I'm hoping I can focus for 4 hours. So we'll see what happens here in a second. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to start with this. Hey, Leo. Hey, Frank. How's it going? Thanks. I think it's going to go well. We'll see, though, you know? Fucking. Okay. Player inventory find. We have equipment. We have item factory. Okay. Alright, I think I know I'm going to start. Okay. Actually, wait, we need to structure this like the other one. Like the player funks, before I actually commit to making this a fucking class like an idiot. So it's just a const? Okay, so we're going to be writing in a const. Alright, so that's what we're going to be doing then. And then we'll eventually get around to like adding the other stuff like overrides and stuff. Okay. So we're gonna have inventory, equipment, and something else. So let's get those in here as well. Equipment, toolbar. I think we already have a toolbar. Fuck. Alright, we'll do this. Goes in here. You go in there too. And then you go in here too. And then we're gonna make a shared folder or file. And alright, so I want to start with the basics first. Add and subtractor, actually surprisingly not the basics. Those are actually way more complicated with the amount of rules and things that I'm going to need to write for that, so I'm not going to use that or do that right away. What I will do is some of the other stuff that has like shared functionality, so like finding items, updating them, maybe some query stuff as well. So I think that will be fine. Okay. Const. And let's start with find. And we're gonna do type, inventory, equipment, and the other one was toolbar. And then we're gonna look for the base item type, which is going to be a string. And it's supposed to return an item, but we don't have that yet, so we will do that in a bit. So what we want to do okay, so we want to find the item based on the type that is specified. So if we guess obviously need to pass a player too, huh? Or let's try and actually We're going to try to decouple from alt player. So it's going to be an array of, I guess for now, let's just put item in here. Or, fuck, I need like a placeholder based on those structures, and then I can move them eventually. So, fuck it, we'll just put it back in shared, and we'll go and add this interface. We'll just call it new item, or no, we will call it item. And this needs to be, I want to say it can be anything. Let's just do this. T, object. Is it object or object? Object. String, number, 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 interface, base item. Base is string. Flags, I don't remember what it's called. It's like called like item type or something. Yeah. Item type. Quantity. Number. Slot. Number. Version. Number. And then data will be just like the data that you can append. So this just needs to be an object of anything. Or can I do object or can I do object? Object. Let's just do a lowercase object. Okay, so base item. What is missing here? Record string any instead of object. I agree with you. Weird movement while I'm looking at another monitor. Here, wait. Which are we talking about? This one? Or are we talking about this one? This one? Or this one? Or is it when I put my hand in front of my face and then it just like glitches like that? Or maybe, hold on. Let me see. Nope, that's the wrong way. Let's try that way. There we go. That's probably better. Okay, so base item, we have the regular item, and then we need to do... let me open Discord again. Character select. Append to data. Oh, we have something which is a... base item. Base item is actually the database item. So database item. And we'll do record string any. And let's see. So we also need a few other things. Like max stack. No, we already have that. So this is... Wait, we don't have that. Because we didn't copy it from this other one. So stack number. Slot is not needed. Quantity is not needed. Why do I have two of these in the Discord? I must have like wrote it twice or something. Okay, so we have name. We have name. Version. Stack number. Weight number, which is like the default weight. And then this is actually data to append. And then we have flags as well. So the database item, the item ref stored in the database. I guess we don't really need base item interface. Let's call it base. And then the idea is fetch item from local cache by base and convert into this item type. And yeah, let's just do, instead of T, we'll do that. Make it a requirement for data to be record string and any type here. Name, quantity, slot, weight, version. And then the version is like the current revision of this specific item. And then we also probably want that version inside of, yeah, we have that up here too. So we can just copy this. Let's put that there, update this, save that. Let's spread this out. Okay, so we could either do, so we could do like a base item, and then maybe we give it a proper name too. So this could be like camel case item reference, or kebab case, golden pickaxe, whatever. And then if we do stack, this is the maximum amount of items that can be stacked for this base item type. There's also a stuck in 40, yes. You can type the record TK, T property key, string number. Right, yeah. I don't think we need to pass. Oh no, you're right. No, we should definitely pass a T, like a template here. Because then that's going to give us... No, that's not going to work. Fuck. We want to do... It should just be... Am I confusing myself here? Is this just a single record, or is this multiple? I can't even remember. Like, I feel like it needs to be something like this. Or, oh, no. What we should do is... Object. No, it should just be this. Like, it actually should just be this. Only because when you pass the template through here, we want to be able to convert the item to whatever template is inside of the data that's specified by the client itself. And Soke, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Does that even make sense? I'm not sure. But yeah. Like normally, yeah, a record would totally make sense. And here it'd be kind of the same thing. It would just be like, we can pass an object or whatever, and that'll just take whatever it needs to take. But the data that we want it to append should be based on whatever we want the user to specify. A single item should weigh this much. Data to apply to the item when it is created. Think of it a base data template to append to all items created in the future. Flags. What flags could apply to this item specifically? Okay, I think that makes sense. All right, so we're going to leave these like this for now. These interfaces. And then we're going to start building the rest of this. So that means that we need to look at the first function, which is going to be just a simple find. And we're going to do it based on what's inside of the client's data. So we don't actually need to do type. Because they already know the type, so we don't need to do that. Because we're just passing the array of items in. And we just want to define it based on that. So if you were to pass like player.inventory.x or y or whatever, that should be sufficient, I think. And then we'll allow a type template here. Okay. So that being said, we just need to do a simple look through this and find it. See, the catch here is, though, we should actually probably do a backwards for loop because we don't have a instance of this inventory specifically, and if it changes somehow in the middle of our loop, that will be an issue, and we don't want that to happen. So we should definitely do backwards for loop. Alright, so if items I is not defined, if items I dot, we don't have base in here, which we should. The database item to reference to build this item. Why reverse for loop? So let's say that you have okay, so let's say that the inventory is being modified halfway through your search for an item. And you either insert or remove an item inside of the for loop. When you loop through backwards, that element is being removed from the back of the array starting to the front. So you never actually get the wrong size ever again when you're looping through it backwards and you remove something in the middle of its iteration. So this will kind of prevent that from ever happening in the first place. It is something that can happen, and it has happened multiple times in the past. So it's just something that I keep in mind as we're doing array-based things like this. So like when you do a splice, like you splice an item out of an array, that's why. Proper name of the item. What was the issue? Sorry, I've been like super busy with like work and shit today, so I have barely been able to look at Discord. In this item stack. Hey, Flaviano, how's it going? The slot where this item is currently, or where this item currently resides. How much this item stack currently weighs. I think this is about as simple as it's going to get for the item types. No. Yes. Oh, hold on. Let me think about this. This shouldn't be the item that should be stored, though. Hey, Dex. Realize flags quantity. Hold on. I gotta think about this. Okay, so if I'm thinking about what needs to be stored, like what actually needs to be stored. We don't need to store a name. We don't need to store... No, we do need to store a base. We do need to store a quantity. We do need to store a slot. We do need to store the total weight, because I don't want to have to calculate that for every single item every time somebody opens their inventory. I think that's a terrible way to do it. Um, we do need to store the version of the item. Ah, I see. Okay. Version, and then this is like any unique data to store on this item. So this would be... Yeah, so let's leave this as base item. Let's turn this back, because I don't want to confuse it too much. I don't think we need 3 types for this. I think we just need the 2. Because we can pull everything else and put it together, which is a combination of like these 2 items together. With a few extra things. But we're going to definitely need flags. Proper item name for this item. Right. Proper... Okay, so the display of the item. Used for displaying in inventories. Let's see. UI. Used to fetch this specific item. What am I missing, though? Base string, which is fine. That's what we're using to look it up. Version, data, weight. Maybe weight is actually... Maybe we are going to actually... Yeah, we're going to actually calculate it every time that we do anything. So I think it's fine. Because the actual item that's going to be... This is not shared. Wait a minute. It is shared, but it's not shared. They both have different references. Or, yeah, wait, how much... This item stack weighs? If it is a base item, how much one item weighs? There, we'll do that. This is not a vibe. That's fucking awful. Also not a vibe. My favorite streamer pack again with my favorite new thing. Finally, inventory. Yup. Yup. So we do need 3. I'm not crazy. T, object. Did I do object or object? I don't remember. It's uppercase object. Okay, I think that makes sense. So the final item type, it implements all of that stuff together, but we could actually just define it like this, I think. We can just define it with this. Shared item data and stored item. Do not export. Okay. Yeah, so now we have that set up. So let's do the searching. So we're going to be looking for, because we're assuming what this is. Wait, well, yeah, so what we are... Oh, shit, hold on, let me think about this. Fuck, okay. On the player at all times is actually going to be an array of these. Not stored item. No, it's going to be this, which is... Shit, let me put this in here. Items that are fully constructed in server cache. Items that are stored in player data inventory. Let's make a list. Player data equipment. Player data toolbar. And then this is just items that are stored in the item database. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense now. Yeah. Except we need to be able to pass this to here. Okay. We're going to make it exact. If it's not equals, we'll continue. Otherwise, we'll return items I. Otherwise, we return undefined. So it's either going to be item P or undefined. Find an item inside of any inventory type and return the item. Find an item inside of an... Okay, yeah. I think that makes sense. Alright, we're going to mark that one as done. I think. Let me see. What did I write? Because I wrote this morning. Player inventory, find shared functionality, find the base item, returns item or undefined item has item slot. Okay. I think that makes as much sense as it could possibly make. And this is a shared function, so I only got to write this once. And then we need to do an update version of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do items array item t type inventory, equipment, or toolbar. And it does it by slot. But we need this to actually reflect on the player. So let's do this. We do actually need to do alt player for this. Now I'm thinking that we should actually just do it for all of them, because it's going to make the interface a lot simpler, too. I didn't want to, but okay, whatever. Whatever. We'll do it. We don't actually have to make this that, though. We could actually make it data character. We just omit the rest because we don't care about it. So then what we do is we need to check the type that's supported. Equipment. Toolbar. I don't think this matters. Yes, it does. Does it? Yes. Okay, we'll do that one next. Let's just put a comment there for now, and let's fix this again, because I changed how this works. So that means that we need to do... we need to take... oh my gosh, hold on. So first we need to check if these things are defined. So if player data has own property, we just simply return undefined. And we'll check if it's an array. So if it's not an array, I think that'll be fine. What we should do, though, is that if it's not defined, we should just try to define it, though, and return undefined. And then let's set this up. So it's supposed to player data type Clear data. Let's change this back to this. So if it's not defined, let's do just in case. I don't think that'll happen, but who knows? Who knows what other people will do to it? I mean, it's not just for me, so. Okay, and we want to try and use this pattern as much as possible so that we don't have to specify this is cursed. Hold on. Let me just make this a type. Because what we really want out of this is something a little bit simpler, but it'll just kind of take anything. So we have equipment, inventory, toolbar. All right, there we go. What a pain. All right, so that's a little bit better, and that's going to be more resilient towards strict typing in the future, I think, too. Because we're defining this based on, like, we're just kind of passing it a bunch of shit. And to make it even more resilient, we could add a key any in here, and that should really send it over the edge there. And that'll make it just compatible with anything that any of the other data formats have. So I think that'll work as far as like strictness and stuff goes, but who knows? But I'm not going to be writing for strictness. It'll take me too long to get everything fixed. So we're going to write it this way, and then if I need to make additional changes to make it stricter, I will. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to waste my time with strict. Because in my head, I know these things work, you know what I mean? But, like, the biggest thing is this. Making sure that that gets updated accordingly. And let's regenerate this. And return that item. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. All right. Update. So, what does this mean? This means that we need to do a couple of things. One is to pass this. Actually, we don't need to pass that, actually. I think that's actually should be okay. Character. Did I call it wrong? Did I name it wrong? I did. Character inventory. Or, yeah. Okay, so we're going to check if it has. So we're passing the player, we're passing the type, we're passing the slot we want to modify, and then we're passing the data that we want to apply to that specific thing there. But let's do some general checks. And this should actually return, I think, true or false. Yeah. And this is going to be async, actually. So let's set that up. Promise. Boolean. Or... no, just promise Boolean. That's it. Async update. Alright, so we do that. Then we get the items for that slot. And we don't really care about... oh yeah, we do. That's actually going to be this. And then we're going to look and find that item. Well, there's two ways that we can do it. We can do it based on index, or we can do a backwards for loop. I think we're just going to do the backwards for loop until we find that item. Yeah, it just makes more sense. But we want to do it based on slot, though, instead of this. Nice. I'll have to take a look at that when I can later. I'm not going to try and... I'm just going to try and focus on this right now. Otherwise, down here, we return false. Here, we're going to do the data update. Yeah, finish your stuff. Just want to tell you. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So here's a question about this update. Is it going to automatically set the data, or is it meant to remove? Do we want it to add to the data, the unique data, or do we want it to remove the data, or do we want it to append? Like, put them together? I'm not sure. Sevik, thanks for the sub, dude. Appreciate it. Dim, really appreciate the sub. It's fantastic. Well, we could write an override for this, where it's either going to be a... it's going to be either one of these, I think would be appropriate. They're going to let me do that? I'm not even sure, actually. I forgot how to do this. Hold on. I did it like, where did I do it? I always forget how to do... I forgot what the term is called. It's not an override, is it? It's a... is it a function override? Overload. Let me check. Is that even possible to overload a function in TypeScript, like in an object? I know you can do it in TypeScript, but like I'm not sure if you could do that with like a without separating the functions themselves. Doesn't look like that's the case, so I think we are going to move this stuff out of here. And we are going to do it in this way. We'll move that out. Put find here. We'll move these out. This needs to be async function. I'll give us our override. We can do update there. All right. And my face cam is unbelievably cute. That's fucking crazy. It gets stuck sometimes, like especially when I like drink water. Like, or I guess it didn't happen that time. But yeah. But hey, thanks. I spent way too much time on it. And by much time, I think I spent 2 days total. Alright, so we got data, right? And we need to check the type of data. If type of data. And we're going to check if it's an object. So if it's an object, that means that... Yeah, I tried to break myself, yeah. You know what? I did find out that you can do this, though. Like, you can kind of... Like, if I lean back in my chair, it goes pretty low. We'll check if this is an array. So, array.isArray data. So if it's of the array type... So, array is going to be for removal, while the data type is going to be for appending or just kind of adding it to it, I guess. So then we do items I, data, and then we just add that all in here like this, and that'll just combine it. And then if we do items I, we're going to go, actually we're going to do for let key of items I data, and we're going to do object.keys, and if, oh Jesus, wait, hold on, this is going to be, we want to loop through the actual data. Okay, const key of data. And then we want to do items I, data, key, and we want to just try and delete it. I think that makes sense. For appending, combining, for removing keys. Does that make sense? That is the other question. You know what? Let's actually take this and just implement this now as well. And this is actually just going to be exports. No, shared. Exports is going to be type of, let's capitalize this, shared. So we have Key extends key of type. Fuck. Hold on. Shared. Shared. And then we're gonna ignore this. And actually just return that. Remove that. Add shared. And now we have overrides. All right, so now we have overrides built in for shared functions here, so you can just update these externally if you ever want to change how they work. Yeah, what a complicated fucking... What a complicated, like, first little start to this. But we did just add support for 3 different... no, we basically added, like, 6 functions where you can update your inventory, equipment, and toolbar. You can also remove items. Update... Well, update actually should be called update data. And then we should make an alternative to this, which is just update. It's like this, but it doesn't do data. Instead, what it does is it looks for specific things that you want to update, like the weight. I'm sorry. It's like a partial of this. God, this is fucking weird. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do something similar to this, but not exactly. We don't need a data object. Don't need that. Don't need that. Actually, well, data is more a partial, like it's like a picked apart item of, it's like a partial stored item, which I think is just, yeah, that's literally it. It just needs to be a partial of item. Partial. Is it partial item? I don't know. Okay, I'm hydrating. Promise. It's going to be a... Hold on, I'm trying to really think about how this is supposed to go. It actually just needs to be a partial of stored item. Stored item. And then that's going to be return a promise. Data partial stored item data. Probably that. And then we want to do... We're looking... I'm sorry, we're looking for the slot. And once we find the slot... You're gonna make me... No. Alright, there you go. Double hydrate. I am actually almost out of water, though. So we have slot, we have data. Type data equals object. We don't want this. We also don't want this. Because we don't need to remove. We just need to do a simple update. And that update means we need to do items I. And we just want to... Items I, and we just want to combine it with the current data. So let's do object.sign. We should actually do that for the one above as well. We want to do this. The target object to copy items to. And then it just... Wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Copy the values of all the enumerable owned properties from one or more source objects to a target object. Returns the target object. Okay. And then we want to use data as the source here. I think that's correct. And then we want to do that here too. So instead of doing, instead of doing it like that, and then we just assign like that. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. So now we have find, update, update data. And then we have all this in here, which lets you do overrides. Find, update, update data. Okay, so in these update datas, the other thing that has to be done is saving the inventory. But we do that with the state manager. So we have a state manager, and then we do set. And we need to process the player, which is supposed to be an alt player. Let me go and make some modifications to this, actually, because what I want to do is almost the same as this type. Hold on, I'm thinking. Is that even gonna work? Maybe? We need it to pass ID. Like, we only need some of the shared interface here. Like, we do definitely need ID, which should be assumed as a string at that point. But that's actually not true. It could be unknown. It's actually an unknown type. Hold on, let me look what... It's any. It's literally just any. All right. And that's only because it can be so many different types that I just didn't worry about making it the correct one. Okay. So I think that's what we're going to do here then. So we're just going to make this one ID here any. And then that should allow us to just pass it, hopefully. Yes. Okay. Because it's just, I mean, it's basically just passing, like, internally inside of JavaScript itself, it's just going to be passing the object anyway. So it should be fine. But for TypeScript's sake, leave it like that. All right, anyway. So we are passing type, which is going to be a string. And then we need to pass the value, which is going to be items. Stored object. Yeah, so that's going to automatically save. That is our save function, I believe. But we only... Okay, we don't want vehicle. We need to do... Is that going to let me do... Let me check something. Let's add another override in here. Why is that complaining? Is it because of this? Yeah. Not assignable to parameter of type. Okay, so we have process callbacks, which it's going to do this as well. Data partial character. Callback target. I was expecting, and that's because of up here we have this, which is also partial character. And then here we have valid, which is not something that I'm looking for. So if target or no, I thought that would have worked. Okay, so if, yeah, let's just do that. If type of target, no. If target instance of alt player or target instance of alt.vehicle, then we do this. And then this other one I don't really care about. Because it's still, internally, it's all going to be the same shit. Yeah. Okay, so that should work. Yeah, I thought type of too, yeah. But I know what you're saying. I knew exactly what you're saying. It's like, just type of that thing. Like, check if it's in, you know, if it's that specific type. Just hive mind is what happened right there. Update data. Okay, yeah, I think that's correct. We do need to apply that here as well, where we do an await and then we do items. That does reassign it. So that means your inventory system should now, or anything that's using the inventory should actually be awaiting for this stuff to happen. Because we need to wait for the state manager to set the items before doing anything else. Can I document this? Sorry, hold on. Update but removes specified array or specified array of keys. Update but it appends object of keys to, and appends an object to the data properties. Combining the two objects together and overriding existing fields. And down here, actually, yeah, let's see. I want to see. Let's see what the AI will give us. It updates an item in a player's inventory. This is the type of item slot, for example, inventory or bank. Partial sort item upfront. Interesting. It actually shouldn't be. I don't know why bank is in here. It's actually not, it's not bad, but it's pretty bad. No, it's not a co-pilot thing. It's something else. It wasn't bad, though. It did alright. It's called, Mitlify Doc Writer. And if you give it a generally complex, too complex, it struggles. But if you do like general functions, it does document them pretty well. I'll have to show you when I do something other than that. Like let's see what it does with this one. If the function exists, override it. I mean, that's not bad. The name of the function you want to override, the function to override the original function with, And the function, there is no function return, so that's not bad. So this one though, the update. So this one, update an inventory item based on slot. And only update specified stored item types. Properties. Good for updating quantity, weight, etc. Cool. All right, so first section done, and we didn't even have to use alt player. Now these interfaces here actually are going to end up getting shared in general, but I'm not sure where that's going to end up yet. So actually, let's get them out of here because it's already complicated looking at this thing. So let's get them out of there and put them in its own folder. Yeah, all this here needs to go somewhere else. Items. Boom, like that. Import that. Save that. Update all this. Let's add our imports. I don't think I exported those. Oh wait, that's because those types need to go out as well. Item slot, character, inventory. Yeah, all of these actually do need to go out. Actually, wait, we can just name this inventory. What am I doing? Yeah. There we go. All right. So that's all of that. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's just the. That's just like two functions. 3 functions total? Oh my god. Trying to think what else is missing here. Yeah, this one's just an override. I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. Let's try just messing with it real quick. Okay, it's not taking this. Oh, it's because we don't have a player type. Hold on. Let's do like alt on. I don't even remember. What's a fucking. Oh, we don't even have alt in here. Also, I had it in here. All right, let me test this real quick. So let's do like player connect. It's not like this is actually going to be what it's used for, but I just need a player reference. Let's go like that. Player is not assignable to type parameter of character inventory item data. So why is that complaining? Can I just and have it not complain? Pick data. So now they're gonna let me have that? Oh, is that because it's in the wrong function? Wait a minute. Let me see if it'll take this before I add it to everything. Because that'll be really nice if it can. Oh my god, it can. That's amazing. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do to get it compatible. Gotta take my BF now and go for sure. Thanks for joining the stream. Have a nice, wonderful evening. Since you're across the country. Or across the world, really. I mean, you know. Sometimes that's just how it is. Anyway. I hate how this is like... Sometimes it gets way up here. Alright, so... Where are we at? We got shared done. We need to get... the next few... Jesus, I don't like that noise. I'm sorry, hold on. That's... Oof. What about this? What's this sound like? That sounds like a lot of noise. It's also a lot of noise. Also a lot of noise. I want something a little more calming, you know what I mean? So I tried using, what is it, like Lo-Fi Girls stream beats or whatever? That radio specifically, and I've got so many copyright claims on YouTube. So that didn't work. So I've been trying this other one, which is like Harris Heller. And I'm hoping that it will work out, but who knows. Realistically, I just want to listen to drum and bass right now, but I can't, so. Alright, equipment. Equipment? Are we doing equipment? Oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering what's fully being written here, there is a Discord server where I have a channel called Inventory Hell. It has the full specifications of what is being written right now. So if you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, I suggest taking a look. Because that's definitely what is the full specification, like what is actually being written here. Like what the end goal is. It's a little more basic rather than looking at some of the, or trying to explain it all. So if you're curious, I'll put a screenshot too, so you can check that out. But that's part of what is in that channel. There is lots and lots and lots of text in that channel. So do check that out. There's a Discord link down below in the info if you want to come check out what Athena's about. Anyway. So as far as inventory goes, though, we got the find done, we got the update done. We need to do query total and query data, which I think can actually just go under shared. Yeah, I think that can go under shared as well. So let's write those as well. So we're going to be doing, it's similar to a update. Let me check. We have query total, which is going to count the amount of items of the base item type. Simple enough, I think. Let's add that in here. We're going to do query total. Remove all this. We don't need an async function. Item slot number partial data. We don't need that. We do need base string. And then we want to do it's not a promise, it's actually going to be a number. Let's do -1 because it didn't find it. Or actually no, it's supposed to be 0. So it just straight up didn't find it. Player data or items stored item. We're going items undefined, item null, continue, item slot. We don't want that. We want base not equal to base. Up here at the top, we're going to make a total. And then we're going to do total plus equals item I dot quantity. Now the other thing we need to check is if items I dot quantity equals, I don't know why it would be undefined, but we do need to check the type. Undefined. And we'll continue. And then here, plus equals quantity, or items I dot quantity equals 0. And we return total. All right, and that's how you get the total amount of that item in a player's inventory. Yeah, I generate that. See how well it does? It returns the quantity of a specific item in a specific inventory slot. Not quite. Function takes 3 arguments. Yeah, that is some bad generation. All right, I'm gonna write it myself. You look so happy today. I get to work on something that I want to work on. Like, I've been hyping myself up to do this all day, so so I'm quite excited to get this going. So count the total amount of the item base in a inventory type. All right, so we got query total. That's in there. Let's see. So we need to do query data, which is similar, but we're looking for a matching key and key value and pair value based on the data. All right, so query data. So the purpose of this is we want to look for key string value any. And then what we want to do is look for if items I dot data equals undefined, or type of items I dot data is not equal to an object, we are going to continue past that item and not care. And then what we're going to do is look for an item, or it's undefined. Okay, so if the data is undefined or the data is not equal to an object, we're going to skip it. And then if we're skipping it, we need to look for that data inside of data. So that means that we do let's make a Boolean for did find. For let key of object dot keys items I data if items I data. Now, if key is not equal to key. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's do internal key. Continue. If key or items I dot data key. So now we're getting the value at this point. And if the value equals the value up top, or is not equal to it, we continue. And then what we do is we do did find equals true, we break, and then if did find is not true. We continue. And then down here, we return items I. And then down here, we return undefined. There we go. So that'll let me find data inside of data. I don't know why you would need it, but it's there. It's quite expensive, actually. All right, so value, which is just, it's fucking any. Look inside each item. Look for specific data inside of key, or inside of data with a specific key and value pair. And that will be our query data. There we go. All right, so that's all in there. Now we have those two done. Let me go ahead and edit my thing here so I can just mark it off. That off, mark that off. Mark off update, mark off find. Mark off this one, this one. Mark off this one. Mark off that one. All right, now let's do a few different things. We're going to do the weight stuff as well. So that's also going to end up in here. So that means that we need to calculate the total weight of all the items based on the type of inventory that is passed. Mark this, maybe that. Yeah, exactly. Actually, if you give me 1 second, I think I'm gonna go get water real quick because I'm already out and I've been talking and yeah, I need water. So I'll be back in like just a moment. If you don't mind. Oh, so you're gonna make me drink the whole bottle of water and I just got back here? Give me 1 second, I'm actually just quick snack. Okay. Like, no, stop. Don't make me drink all the water I just got here. I like straight up just broke the avatar. Bathroom stream not coding. I don't know about that one. Hot tub pools, beach maybe better. Maybe. Okay. So where are we at? So we were at the weight. So we wanted to do weight next. Ah, and you know what? When we go to update, if old quantity is not equal to items I dot quantity, we want to recalculate it. So this is where we're going to use our math skills. Except we don't have a way to get the item base. We don't have a way to get the base item yet. ASMR piss stream gonna make R. Kelly wish he was. Wow. Okay, let's just add a to do on here. To do. Calculate weight based on quantity changes. Okay, so that's there. I can't do anything about that right now because I don't have the functions to do that. But for now, that's actually no, I can't do any of the weight right now. No, I can do total weight because that's going to take the existing. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Can I do that? Now I'm wondering. Oh no. Can I do that? Quantity. And this. That's the stored item. But the player should have an actual item, which is the shared item. Yeah. So we should. We can write one weight function right now, which is going to be which is going to be, hold on, where is it? Function get total weight. I spelled function wrong. And then we just pass this. So here's a question. Do we need to actually... No, this function means one thing. It means go through the entire inventory and get the total weight. That is it. Inventory, equipment, toolbar. Total 0 for for each type in or of types. We're going to do for let. So we're going to clone it first. If type of player data type, type is undefined. Player data type equals that. Continue. Get the items. We're going to loop through the items now, but we're going to do it backwards because, yeah. Oh. Loop through that thing backwards like this. item length, and then we're going to check some things like if they're undefined. If items I dot weight, so if it's not equal to number, continue, total plus equals items I dot weight. There, return total. There you go. Now it gets the entire total weight of the inventory in a function. Literally missed everything? Yeah, you missed quite a bit of stuff so far. We already wrote, we've been live for an hour and 31 minutes, but we wrote, what if the weight is a float? We're not going to talk about it. Anxiety, how's it going? Yeah, so we have all of this done so far, which is, it makes more sense to just, this is what we have right now. We have find, query data, query total, update data, and then we have get total weight. Yeah, it'll be up on my YouTube later, or you can always watch it on Twitch, whatever one is more preferable to you. But I usually, after the VOD on Twitch is done, I take it and I export it over to YouTube. So you can always find all my old streams either on Twitch or you can find them on YouTube. So. Alright, so total weight is done. Shut up, I'm learning. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna mark some things off again real quick, so give me a second. Let's mark that off. We should definitely do an invoke. How does that even work right now, actually? Hold on. Toolbar. Item effects, invoke player. You just pass an item and you specify a type. Okay. Function invoke effect player. It's either going to be character, inventory, or pick. So what design we going for here? What if you're in the Discord, there is a channel called Inventory Hell. And Inventory Hell has the entire specification of what we are currently writing. So if you want to look at that, I would suggest looking at that. And yeah. Dex, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. For me, weight is just a number. And then you have a maximum. Yeah, inventory hell. Yep, that's the specification. But yeah, I think of weight as like, here's a whole number. I don't know what the units mean. But yeah, sure. Is this even necessary? Hold on, I'm like trying to figure out if we even need to do this. Yes, we do actually. We do need to do this based on a slot, and we do need to do this based on type, which is going to be where the fuck is it? Item slot. What is the difference between these, actually? Round. know what? We're just going to do this. And then we just need to find the item based on the slot. So that's going to be... Inventory type ground? Yeah, so when I'm telling you that the old legacy system is something, it is something. I don't know if you've ever tried to look at how it handles slot management. It's something. It's a nightmare. Let's do that, and then we're gonna do Boolean, which is going to, I guess, basically say whether or not it was actually called, or at least the function was tried to be called. And then we're gonna check if we can find it. If index less than or equal to -1, return false. I was left a no pixel inventory system logic. No player-to-player inventory, but logic, so items need to be dropped on ground and picked up by receiver. I mean, this is definitely a step in a direction that'll let us do that finally. I mean, we could have already done it, but the logic to make it is just not... it's not great. Items index. So this needs to be fixed. So I think I'm just going to do this for now. Do fix inventory effects to use new types. So we'll eventually get that resolved, but for now we just have to leave it. Oh, okay, so toolbar add, toolbar remove, equipment add, equipment remove. Item factory, which is for add and getting refresh, get max stack, get flags. Where the client determines your inventory. Yeah, that's very true. It's quite true. Alright, so let's write an inventory factory, huh? Class. Is it a class? No, we actually want a const. It's going to be very similar to this actually, so let's just grab all this. Remove all that. And then this is going to be item factory. Like that, boom. Okay. That inventory you mentioned. What about that inventory I mentioned? Got to make them items somehow. Yep. It's really what I should have started with, but whatever. We're here now, right? So, Gen X, how's it going? So for add, we need to do a base item. What exactly is a factory? It is something that's going to help you construct your items and put them into the database to make it work with the rest of the infrastructure that's inside of Athena. So in the case here, we need a way to build a base item. So if we do base item like this, now the add function is going to be taking this item. So if we do add and then we go like this, it's going to give us all these options to fill out, which is going to all be required. So like if I go over here, it says, hey, this is the maximum amount of items that can be stacked on this base item type. And it's going to let us, define all that information out. And then once it's defined, we want to simply add it to the inventory. But the really important thing here is that we need to check for collisions. So we don't want a base item name to have the same base item name as anything else. So what I'm actually going to do up here, though, is we're going to write an internal class. It's just going to be filled with a bunch of static methods for initializing everything. And that's going to go down here at the bottom, like that. And when we initialize this, it needs to do a few things. It needs to read the database. It needs to... I don't know if we have a way to check... Wait, it needs to... Okay, wait. So let's step through this. Create a collection if it does not exist. Read from the collection the base items. Or read all the base items from the collection. Store the base item cache locally here. I don't even know if we need to do that. I think we just need a function. I don't know. I don't know if we need to wrap all this in internals and shit. So let's not do that. Let's just do init. And this is probably going to be async. All right. Well, I think I'm missing something, though. Let me look at this interface again. Myself a refresher on that. So if we have base item, we're storing name, base, version, stack, data to append. If we pull that data down, this is like just a shared stored item type. We don't need to do any kind of conversion here. It's just something to base it off of. Or this is what we're getting from the database from the player side. And then when we're done, or like we have like a convert function for the item factory that converts a player inventory stored item into a full item, which is a combination of the stored items and the base items. I think that makes sense. Wait, where am I? I'm writing this in inventory for some reason. There we go. I got super confused for a second. Okay, so we have add, which is going to go in here. But we should probably initialize what this is going to look like. Array of base item. base items. So let's do the thing where we work with the database. So we go Athena, database, collections. Nope, we're going to do funcs. Create collection. What is our collection name? Our collection name is going to be item factory. Fuck it, whatever. That'll work. We're gonna wait for that to show up. Once that's been created, or if, I mean, we don't really have a way to check if it already exists. I think the internals of this already handles it. Yeah, creates a collection if it doesn't exist. So we're just gonna put that up here, create collection if it does not exist. And then we're gonna read what's in that collection. So base items, Athena. Await, Athena, database, funcs, fetch all data, pass the base item type, and collection name. And this needs to be a let. Read all base items from database. Okay, and then that's our cache here for that. All right, so now this is not going to be called externally, so it will not be added here. But we will, or we're assuming that we have items inside of the cache at this point. And what we should do is write a few other functions, such as is initializing false. Do is, or how about this? Is refreshing. Function, or async function, we're going to wait for what are we waiting for? We're waiting for is refresh complete. Return new promise. We're going to do a resolve of function. And then we're going to do a interval, alt set interval. Import all as alt from alt server. Actually, you know what? Let's try to use this thing. What is this? Alt utils wait for. What is this? Waits for a callback to return true, otherwise the promise will be rejected after timeout. Interesting. Okay, let's try this. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. So that means that all we need to do, wait for if, yeah, no, return is done refreshing. True, false. Seems simple enough. I'm gonna give this quite some time to wait because we don't know how many items are actually going to be in here. Default timeout. And what does it do? Returns, otherwise the promise will be rejected after timeout is refresh complete. Okay, yeah, so if we just do awaits is refresh complete. And then we could actually add this down here as well. Okay. Let's let AI take care of this. If it even does it. Kind of doesn't look like it. Looks like it's struggling a little bit. And do we wait for it? Okay, I could have written it faster at this point. Okay, nice. Let's try again. It still doesn't want to do it. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. This isn't gonna work. Mayday, Copilot down. Yeah. Yeah. Or it's just I highlighted it wrong. I mean, that's also a possibility. Or it's just down. Yeah, I mean, it could be down. Does it say why? No. Let's try this one. No, it just seems like it's down. Cool. All right, very nice. All right, so let's work on adding to the database. So we're going to check if the local cache contains an item. You can do that by finding an index. Your pilot ejected, yeah. Find it. Wait, base items. Find index. Base item. Base item dot base equals base item. Oh wait, that's a bad way to term that. And let's do a comparison of like lowercase. Base item dot base dot to lowercase base item. Let's make sure that's lowercase. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, name is in there. Goes like that. Index. Okay, so if index less than or equal to -1. And we're going to do a promise of Boolean on whether it was added or not. Return false. And then we're going to throw a warning. Actually, if it already exists, like, we don't care. Because, like, this is kind of, like, used for startup, so I don't think we should have any kind of warnings. So... Oh, we're not returning a promise yet. We're about to. Or we're about to make this async, rather. Because what we need to do is we still need to go into the database. We need to go Athena database, funcs, whatever, add, insert. And then we want to insert the base item. We want to insert it into the collection name. And then we want to return the document. And then when we get the document back, which is normally the actual base item, we want to take new item, new base item. And we want to take the new base item and push it into our base items. So if for whatever reason type of new base item equals undefined. I don't know how that would be possible. We're going to return false, and then otherwise we're going to do base items push new base item. So that'll now be in our cache because it now has an ID. And we need to go actually define that on base item since we don't have that. Database identifier for base. Yeah. Let's go like that, and then we're going to do actually new base item dot ID equals new base item to string. And we're actually going to go through and fix all the IDs as well. Except do we want to do this backwards? Let me think about it. No. We don't have to do it backwards because we have something to stop anything else from being inserted into the system. Oh, another hydrate. I just took a sip of water. So we're going through and looping through everything. Applying the ID and making it string. So it makes it usable. We're adding the item to the database. And then here we're just going to return true. And that should be okay. Add an item to the database, or a base item. Verify if the item factory is done updating. Refreshing. Initialize local cache and create collection. Fetch all items. Convert IDs to strings and assign to cache. Function get array of base item, return base items. That should actually just be that. Actually, no. This has to be async. Did I specify an update? I don't remember if I did. Let me look. So if we have refresh, we have get wait, we have invoke. I don't have a way to update, so that's what we should definitely add. So in the case of this, what we want to do is we want to find the base item. And then, wait a minute. We want this, if this is greater than or equal to 0, we do not want to add. All right. All right, once we find it, we're going to do base items. Sideways, thanks for the sub. And D-Mace, how's it going? Original version, we're going to do base. Wait a minute. We're going to do base items index. Base items index. Welcome. Base items index. What is it? Wait, no, fuck. Version. So once the version is assigned, or here we'll do next version. We don't want them to pass version. So omit version. Because we already have it in the base value. Just checking if you're doing it correct here. I hope so. It's already a fucking nightmare. Anyway. What is, I don't know what ETA is. I mean, estimated time of arrival. What do you mean by that? Base items index. Base items index. Base item. Then we're going to do base items index dot version equals next, or we can just put that here. ET on when you're going to release this, it's not going to be done for a couple weeks. All this new functionality is not going to work with the old system or the legacy system. So that means that I have no way to make this just work out of the box. It's going to require changes across the entire framework in multiple files and multiple places, multiple plugins. It's going to be quite a large update to make this function. So I hope it'll be easier at some point, but or I hope I can get this out in a timely manner. But it's the scope of this is already huge. Like if I already did most of the shared stuff in here, like that was just written today. But this stuff here for update is gonna be, this whole item factory is already gonna take quite a bit of time, and then I haven't even started this or this, so or this. And then I have to do the entire UI update, and then I have to go through and figure out where all the loose threads are. What about metadata for items? Metadata for items is called .data. That already exists. So item.data, it's already something that's exists in the current framework, where you can apply unique data per item, if that makes sense. Or what do you mean? What do you mean by metadata? Like, what's your definition of metadata? Because we already have key value pairs, so. Wait a minute. So base items version. Well, hope you don't lose your motivation. Man, important. Yeah, it's true. I've been in a slump for a while too, so you know. Who knows what's actually going to come out of this? Update local cache first. Down here we want to do true. True here as well. Okay, so base items index version. Okay, now we need to actually update the data inside the database. So that's going to be something like this. Dot update partial data. Or no, is it? Yeah, update partial data. Okay, so then we want to do base items index ID collection name, and we want to actually make a copy of that object. And then we want to remove the ID from it. Base item copy, deep clone object. Do you use Copilot? I do not. I have it installed, but I do not have it enabled. When it turned off, like when I had the trial period for it, I was just like, I don't think I need this, so I just got rid of it, and now I don't use it anymore. So it just didn't seem necessary for me. Okay, so base item copy. And then we're gonna do delete base item copy dot ID. Is that? Wait a minute. Ah, base item. Yeah. So we delete the ID, and then we go in here and we do update partial data. It's not going to be collection name. It's actually going to be use Athena deep clone object. All right. Athena utils deep clone object. You're right. We don't need the additional imports. Data object, which is going to be a base item copy, and then we're going to do collection name. Okay. And that's just going to return whether or not it was successful in updating. So we could actually put that here, and then we can put that down there. And we do a promise of Boolean. And that should correctly update the data for this, I believe. And auto increments the version as well. Updates an item and auto increments the base reference version. And down here, to do auto refresh players through refresh function. Automatically converts old item versions of logged in players to new item base versions. If that, let me think. Is that even necessary? So that would be updating weight. It's not very often you're going to get a base item update, to be fair, because the amount of things that are actually stored in here is like a name or a, yeah, it's like not much. This looks production ready. I say you push it like any other developer does and not test it. I think you're right. I think we push this thing to master, and I log out. You know what? Tomorrow, Bradley, we gotta push it tomorrow on a Friday, and then I just gotta disappear for the next week. Say I'm going on vacation, right? It's like, nah, just push it out. All the changes, break everything, go on vacation. Exactly, exactly. Just like any game development company, you can save money by not hiring QA testers. Instead, the players are the QA testers. Makes sense to me? Stack data to append. Okay. Am I getting a warning here? Oh, because we haven't finished doing this. All right, we're done with that. Saw everyone with complaints to me. I know how to say, what? Update. Let's put update here. Returns all base items in the cache. We have some duplicate functionality. Well, actually, no, we don't. Does base item exist? Name, string. Turn, index less than. Index greater than or equal to 0. That should be name to lowercase. Actually, we only want to do that once, though. When I have to do it every single time. It's really dumb. There we go. All right, AI, generate. Hell yeah. It checks if a base item exists in the base items array. The name of the base item to check for, a Boolean value. And then we should also check. This needs to be async, so we need to put that in there. And then we do promise Boolean. All right. By the way, this is being written in a way that everything can be overwritten. This override function here is going to let you do anything that you want to these functions. Just like everything else that I'm trying to write now. If you want your own custom functionality for the item factory, you can do that. Okay, I'm going to push these changes that I've done so far to my separate branch because I've already done a lot. Init new inventory. All right, there's some of it. I think I am going to stop for now. I think I've had enough of writing this right now. I don't want to tire myself out too badly because I'm starting to feel a headache coming on, so I don't think it's. I think I need to stop. That being said, I will see you guys later, and we're going to raid this one guy that I always fucking raid, especially in the past. But I'll see you later.